Okay.
Did you hear it?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Kinda. I'll work it out.
Clap.
Welcome back to the BackCountry Pa Podcast. This is the last day of the Rut Camp in Potter County at Ethan's camp. We're going to recap pretty much day 2 and day 3 on this episode here.
Yeah.
So I guess we can start with day 2. Drew and I went out bright and early. Yep. Yeah, I had about
real early.
Yeah, I had about a 3-mile walk in. Drew did not have that far.
No.
So he woke up early and only had to, you were probably there in like half an hour maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Not even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there.
Yeah. So you were in the tree for a while before light.
Mm-hmm.
So day 2, you want to start off, Drew? What happened for you and all that kind of stuff, or if anything happened? Put it that way.
Yeah, I got up in the tree and, I'll be honest, nothing too crazy. I heard a couple little things running around, and that was basically about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was actually really tired.
Yeah.
Dude, I had like 2 hours of sleep and hunted until I think right around like 10 or so. Nothing eventful at all. And got out of there and actually did some sightseeing, and I'm kind of happy that I did that with Jeff over here.
Yeah.
And I got to do a little bit of exploring and see what Pennsylvania offers, and actually thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But that was the highlight of my day.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that though. Like I left yesterday, like I got to the spot that I had marked on X, got in there, and then once the fog cleared, which took forever, it was like, this spot probably won't produce anything. Like I was just sitting there and I was like, I don't know any sign here.
Yeah.
So I literally got down out of the stand and took everything down around close to 9, and then I just went and walked.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, I got to find where they're at. I got to find some doe because I don't know this area. I don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
And then that's when I found a lot of really good buck sign up on top that I told Ethan he has to go hang some cameras at when I got back.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I found good feeding sign, everything like that going down through this old cut. And then I was like, I'm too far from my truck. And at that point I had no service. So I was like, I didn't know if you were still in the woods. I was like, if I stay here till dark, it's going to take me a long time to get back to that truck. And like, Drew's going to be just waiting there for a long time. I was like, all right, I'm going to start making my way out like slowly. And instead of like cutting through, instead of just following the trail the whole way, I cut through down over the bank and went that way and found some scrapes and rubs below where I actually was set up in the morning and walked my way out. It's very steep, and I was tired after that. Very tired.
You did find a bunch of grouse, though.
I did find a ton of grouse. Like I jumped at least 20 plus grouse, which I also told Ethan to go back there because he's hunting grouse. So I was like, go back there. And then got back to the truck. We came back here. And then Jeff and Drew came down the hill, and Jeff was like, you want to go see some elk? And so we went and saw some elk before we went to our dive bar of choice.
The wonderful place.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, I was kind of, so I was just stayed around, the cabin all day and small game hunted. And as I'm coming down the hill, I see Cody's truck, and it's still light out, right? It's before 5 o'clock. So I instantly pull my phone out. Like, did I miss a phone call? Did I miss a text? And there's nothing on my phone. And I'm like, dude, what? He goes, nah. I was like, are you kidding me? Because anyone that knows Cody, he will get in the woods when it's dark, and he will not leave the woods until it's dark. So if you see him in the daylight, not in the woods, when you're going to be hunting, something happened.
Yeah.
But
I was just too tired to stay out there anymore.
Yeah.
It was just like I was beat. I was exhausted. And then, day 2 wasn't too eventful, I don't think, for anyone, really.
No.
I mean, Ethan, you got some squirrels, right?
I got some squirrels, shot a grouse, and missed horribly. That's really what I did.
Yeah.
That's really about it. And I slept in.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I heard you guys get up.
Right.
So I was like, all right, they're up. That's fine. Fell back asleep. I didn't hear Dad get up at all.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I just hear like, doom, 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 on like the glass, on the window. I panic. I get up because I see it's light outside. I grab my phone. I look, and it's like 2 missed phone calls from Dad. And I knew he was going out to hunt, for deer, because we ended up small game hunting today. But
Yeah.
he was out for deer, so I was thinking, oh shit, Dad got something. What's going on? I'm glad it was just Dad out here, because I open the front door. I'm just in my underwear, and I peek out, and he's sitting on the chair. And I said, "What happened?" And he was like,
And I said, "Good morning."
"He's
Ethan.
like, good morning. This is 8:30 in the morning, and I just woke up." And he's like, "Well, I saw you were sleeping, so I just locked the cabin, and then the keys were inside still, and I was just locked inside the cabin and no idea what's going on."
I got a text from Drew. Said, "I'm just giving you my phone number." And I'm thinking, okay. And I wasn't sure what that was about, so I said, "Thanks," in a reply. Well, he texted me again right close to 10 o'clock. He says, I'm getting out of the woods early.
Yeah.
He says, "How about could you come pick me up?" So I came back to the cabin, changed some of my clothes, and took my truck and went up and picked Drew up, and we came back to the cabin. But after we got back here, then I invited him to take a walkabout around the property, and we did a bunch of hiking back in the valley, and later on that day we got lucky enough to see 4 bull elk down over the hill from us.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it was all in all, it was still a good day. I think learned a lot from that, for not just in the moment, but also, for future references in regards to the spot that I gave Ethan for grouse and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
It had produced.
We'll be back up.
Yeah. Okay, so day 3 now. Day 3 was a more eventful day, put it that way. So Drew and I both woke up early. I woke up a little bit earlier than Drew. I had a further walk to go. We didn't drive anywhere this time. We literally just walked out their cabin and just went. So I went to the very top where I actually shot my 9-point before. But before I could even get to the top, I got off the trail and was taking my time getting up, and then all of a sudden I just hear deer walking around me, and I'm like, well, these leaves are too crunchy to keep moving. I'm just going to stand here and hopefully they just disperse.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there pretty much frozen because I'm in my base layers because of, I don't want to sweat too much before I get up there. And then it starts getting a little bit light out, and I start like putting my backpack down and my stand down, and I want to get my release out just in case I can, start seeing this deer just is on top of this ridge right here. So I do that, and then eventually they kind of like make their way away, go down the laurel, then one goes up on top and the other one goes the other way. And then I'm like, well, like kind of took advice from Ethan. He was like, don't overthink it. Like when you set up for the buck on the first day.
Yeah.
Well, your third day.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. One of those days. You're on day 3. I'm on day like 5. I don't know.
But you were like, I'm not going to overthink it. And you set up there, and I did the same thing. I was like, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just setting up in the best tree I can find right here, right now.
Yep.
So I set up there in a little V tree. Wasn't the best tree. Looking back on it, it was kind of like crammed in there in the V. Like I was like, I had my tether like tightened up pretty much the whole way. Couldn't really relax in it, and the camera arm like it was weird to try and like get it underneath my saddle to like bring it around.
Yeah.
And then so pretty much the setup was I had laurel. My mindset was I had laurel to my right down below, and then I had the cut up top. And the wind was supposed to be coming from
the north,
south to north, or north to south.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I figured with the thermals rising and not a heavy wind, it would kind of like it'd be a perfect cruising spot for them to like walk this main bench going out. It almost worked out, but so I do a random like chasing type thing with like the grunt tube, and then I do estrus bleats and all that kind of stuff, mix it together, and then I do that, and then all of a sudden you're I'm like, holy shit, that was quick. So I turn around and like I see a deer, but I don't see its head right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming right for me.
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-point. So it's has like, it's like 3 on one side and like half a spike on this side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, if you had one more point,
Yeah.
if you had one more point, I would have taken you. But he gets like 10 yards, and then he's out there like stomping around like, doof, doof, doof. And then eventually he just walks away, doesn't blow. He's completely downwind of me too, so I don't know why he didn't blow. I mean, maybe it's because it had scent thief, but I
Yeah.
I don't
He
know. I
didn't smell you, but he's
I
like,
don't know. Yeah.
there's something here, and I'm
Yeah.
mad, so I'm going to stomp away.
Yeah. And then, so he goes away. He walks back up to the cut. And then I think it was like an hour or so later. I'm looking over and like I can see to the edge of the mountain kinda, and it drops off. It's like a ridge, and it drops off pretty good, and I can see the laurel still right there. And I'm looking over there around my tree, like out of my corner of my eye, I just see brown movement. I look over and like, oh, there's a deer. But in my mind, it's like 100, 150, 100, 200 yards away. Like, there's no way it's going to come over here. And then I pull the binos on it, and it's a nice buck. And I'm like, oh, man, I hope you call him over here.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So it's still walking the ridge, but it's like taking its time. Like, it's not like scent checking or like cruising. It's just literally just taking its time like you would like in the early season when you have the deer on patterns. Like, it was literally walking like that. I'm like, this is not what I thought at all, like when I would see one. So he goes walking up. He's walking like an angle, like towards me almost, but he gets like there's 2 ridges that come together, make like a very small drainage up there, and he gets in between them and walks up the top. And the whole time he's walking up, I'm trying to like grunt him. I'm trying to do the doe estrus bleats. I'm even doing the regular just doe bleats, the little can. I'm doing snort wheezes. I'm doing everything. This dude will not look over at me at all. Like he's just stone cold looking forward, like just that. And like there was a point where I look at him in the binos, and it might have been because he was underneath the tree, but he looked like he was damn near black. Like he was a very dark deer, and he was at least an 8. So he had a white rack. He was a
You know, when you say about the black deer, I was told a story that some of the deer that are in Pennsylvania are actually they're transplants from out of our state, and
I did hear that
that's
before,
why
yeah.
sometimes you see the dark brown, sometimes you'll see the light brown, sometimes the seasonal they'll turn like a reddish color.
Yep.
But the real dark ones,
Yeah.
they're from out of state. I'm not exactly sure what state.
Yeah, he
but
was
yeah,
dark.
That's the story that I was told.
He was very dark with a white rack, and I was like, man. Yeah, like he got the closest he ever got was 60 yards, but it was through thick stuff, and it was like, I don't practice for 60-yard shots, and I don't think I ever would take one in the big woods of Pennsylvania. Like, there's no point.
With all the
Yeah.
little branches and who knows what else that you don't see until after you shoot.
But I did have the thought of like, there was a split moment in my head where I thought like I should get out of my stand, like and make a stalk over, because he paid no attention to me. Like he didn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't even
once
know you were
look over.
coming.
So it was like I could have easily got out of this stand, took my bow, got out, just.
Like started crawling over.
But
to him.
yet also hindsight's always 20/20, right? It's like you think about that after the fact. It's like I could have done this, I could have done that.
Yeah.
It's always 20/20.
Or you always think like, well, what if he did come and I'm getting out of my stand, and then that just screwed everything up, and I should have just stayed.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think best bet is just to sit there and
Yes.
see what he does.
Yeah, Drew.
Yeah.
What about your day?
Deer.
Your morning, your day in general, I
Well,
guess.
I left probably shortly after you.
I saw your light walking up, actually.
Did you really?
I did. I was on top of the mountain, and I was looking down, and I saw your light just walking. I was
Okay.
like, that must be Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was walking, making my way up the valley, and I set up. There's like this drainage that comes down, and for what I could see, it looked like a nice funnel. Like I was looking up into the trees and stuff and everything, and I thought it was like a nice little pinch point that I would think that some deer would possibly move through here. But early in the morning, as soon as I got set up into the tree, I started hearing like running around me, and I'm like, what in the world? And I was told that Ethan would possibly be in the area hunting for grouse. So I thought it might have been Ethan. I'm like,
Yo, he cracked me up.
Yeah.
6:30
Yeah,
in the morning. I
wasn't
get a
even
text message
real
from Drew. Hey, are you running around me?
yeah.
First off, I can't see shit. Why am I running around in the woods?
I don't know.
I got a good laugh out of that one.
So I was like, man, okay, I'm getting some action. And then shortly after that, I see a doe just walking by, and she's probably, I don't know, probably 100 yards away from me. And they're all walking on the left side of me, walking down the mountain, on the side of the mountain. And there wasn't like any, like a main trail or anything afterwards that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw right after that 2 little bucks strolling through, same thing. And then the last one, I saw a bigger buck, looked like a shooter, and he was 60 yards away from me. And after that, like as soon as I saw him, I started grunting at him a little bit, just trying to get his attention to, spark his curiosity. And he didn't look at me. He didn't care at all. And it kind of confused me. I even estrus bleats, everything, and he just kept walking through. And I'm like, what in the world? So that was basically my morning. And I think that might have been the first time I've ever grunted at a deer or like a buck, and he didn't even pay attention to me. And he's 60 yards away. I know he can hear me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So,
especially with how quiet it is too.
Yeah, exactly. You could hear it echo.
Yeah. That's how it was up top. I was like, there's no way you don't hear this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like blowing into this thing. It's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't sound interesting enough. That's all.
Yeah. How do I sound sexier?
Yeah,
With a doe
I did do that. Because I remember hearing when you do an estrus bleat.
Hey, deer.
Yeah.
Hey.
When you do it.
Hey. Maybe they didn't want to doe.
You have to channel your inner like queen or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to hold to the hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it felt like a little bit. Because
Yeah.
I was told when you're doing an estrus bleat, you want to make it like you want to have some energy behind it, like actually make it sound like a doe is in heat.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, like high pitch at the end, kind of like. I don't want to make the noise, but
I want to hear this now.
he did not look at me. Didn't look at me. Nothing. Didn't care. And I was just like, damn.
Do you use your mouth or do you have a call?
No, I have a call.
Oh,
grunt
okay,
call.
okay.
You know the extinguisher where you can go
Yes.
fawn, doe, and
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they didn't pay attention to that at all.
I did the have the little can, so I blew in that, and I feel like that's very realistic. Honestly, like I said that on day one, but I feel like I don't know. It sounds. I never really heard a doe estrus bleat though in the woods though.
I have.
Have you?
Yes.
Does it sound like that?
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they could be longer though.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
okay.
kind of more drawn out.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, I tried to mimic through my grunt call.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded similar, and he just didn't care. He just kept walking.
See, I think like I feel like we did see the same buck just because of that, just because he paid no attention to either call. Like this, the chances of seeing 2 different buck do the same thing, like not pay attention to that at all. And it's not that far really from where you were to where I'm at. It's really not that far. And I think my theory was like I think he just got off a doe, done tending that doe that probably walked by you, and then he was just like, well, I'm gonna go rest now.
Yeah.
Like
He's
I need
like,
to
"I'm
go
tired,
rest.
I'm
Yeah.
done."
I need to go somewhere where no one's gonna bother me and just go rest.
Yeah.
I think that's
Possibly.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird. He didn't even look. Like he didn't even turn his head or nothing.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Like I don't even think he flicked his ear.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like he stopped, but he just kept looking forward. Like he didn't look in the direction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird how it's all different. Just the different areas, buck act different. You know, one's chasing, one's super aggressive, one doesn't care at all.
Yep.
It's like,
One's cagey.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. It's very interesting.
Ethan, you're day 3 now,
Yeah.
or
would've been
whatever day
today. Yeah. Well, I went up to that area that you told me to go check out because you said there was sign everywhere. There's grouse everywhere.
Yep.
So actually, Dad and I went up, and I brought 7 trail cameras. and 2 boxes of shells, and a shotgun and a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
And so we followed the trail the whole around this clear cut shell, whatever, I don't know what
Yeah,
it is,
it's
something, a cut.
Shell, yeah, some kind of cut, yeah.
Some thick area.
Yeah.
We were following the area, a trail around it, and we got to certain points, and it was like, scrape, scrape,
Yep.
scrape. They were everywhere. And I was like, oh my, like some of them you could tell were older, like they made them in October.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, they were in here at some point. Let's keep walking. And then we found some that it looks like they were done within the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is camera worthy. They seem to be traveling here frequent enough.
Right.
So ended up hanging 5 of the 7 cameras at different spots. Jumped at least a dozen grouse. Shot 2 of them.
Heart attacks is what they're called.
Well,
Flying heart attacks.
The one, we probably could have like grabbed it with our hands. It
might have been the same one that I saw yesterday because like she wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
Or he,
it was.
she,
I
I don't know.
almost tramped on it.
Yeah,
I almost tramped on it.
yeah.
It
scared
It was from me to
shit out of
Ethan,
us.
which is what 3 feet
Jeez.
away, and it
Yeah.
was in that high grass.
So you couldn't.
And he just
You
took
wouldn't. You could have
off and
walked right
scared the
past it if
crap
he didn't
out of us.
move.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have seen it anyway.
Oh
But it
my
took
gosh.
off. Neither of us were ready.
Yeah.
So by the time we got the shotguns up, safety's off, it's already like 50 yards away, gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sucks. I was like, well, all right, well, on to the next one.
Yeah.
But like I said, I ended up getting 2 of them, which is the daily limit here in PA is 2. So I got my 2. I was happy. Saw a lot of sign. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what I get on camera.
There's going to be, I guarantee there's going to be some big buck back in there.
Because the sign back there, it's crazy. Because it's fun. It's like we walked 6 miles total.
From
Okay.
where you parked?
From where we parked, the round trip was 6 miles. In that 6 mile, and then when we got back, there was 5 or 6 vehicles, not including
parking
mine,
lot? Yeah.
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, granted, it is a massive area up here, right?
Yes.
We didn't see a single person,
Didn't hear nobody.
didn't hear nobody, nothing. We didn't even see a deer,
Yeah.
I'm like-
Which is the craziest part.
which is the
of all
craziest
sign.
part. All this sign.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, they're nighttime
Yes.
or
what I was
early
thinking.
morning.
I think they bet up there is what it is. I think they probably bet on that top right there.
Mm-hmm.
I there's no other reason for them to be up there other than early season maybe. And
Yeah.
over the summer.
So I'm going to leave those cameras up there, let them soak, go back in the spring, see what inventory I get,
Shed hunt up there.
change. Oh yeah, just walk around, look for
Yep.
antlers.
Yep.
Change the batteries, and then just let them soak until next season
Yeah.
and see what's going in. Because I don't think people go back up. I mean, I'll find out if anyone goes up in rifle season.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a hard access at
No.
all. It's just a long walk.
I think people will be back there during rifle, just like walking.
Yeah.
But I don't think someone's going to have a stand back in there, like take a stand back in there. Like,
It's almost
I
like
would.
you can't
yeah.
in a lot of the areas.
Yeah. Well, unless you go to like, because that's the one day I was up there, the second day I was up there, I was literally going to set up and then go back in there today and hunt because I was like, there's so much sign in here. Like there has to be something coming through here.
Right.
But there was no trees. Like everything was like this big and like surrounded by everything else. Like there was
young beach trees
yeah,
all
there was
over the place.
there was
Nothing
no
but beach.
there was no tree to set up in.
No.
And if you do find one, it's out of where you want to hunt.
yeah. Like, oh, this is a perfect tree. Let me get up it. And then it's like, oh, wait, everything's like 100 yards away.
Yeah.
I can't. I have no chance of getting a deer.
Yeah.
Did ground hunting ever cross your mind?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But I don't know,
Dude,
like
that's even hard.
with that area up there, I feel like you got it like with how open it is, I feel like you have to be in a tree with how open that is. Because you're gonna with how tall that grass is too, if you're on the ground, you're not gonna be able to see them if they're 20 yards away from you because there's like little divots everywhere. So it's like you almost have to be in a tree.
Yeah.
Take a mobile what are those those pop-up blind. take a mobile pop-up blind that pops up and is high off the ground.
Yeah, little
Do that.
platform.
Yeah, platform blind.
yeah, get one of them.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That one area up there has like 5 benches
Yeah.
before you get down into the gully.
Yeah.
And it's vast.
Yeah. It's huge. And there's a stream that goes down below. Like, it's where they're feeding to going down to that stream. It's kind of nice. I feel like if you get down that stream, you probably have some even better sign down there.
Oh yeah,
Too.
I mean I could spend a whole year just on that area alone,
Yeah.
trying to break it down.
To break
and
that down, yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. So Jeff, your day. How was your day?
My day, it was a lot of fun. I had fun today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to sleep in and until Ethan was ready to leave
Yeah.
and go up on top because we were going to do some small game hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when we go small game hunting, I say, Ethan, over there's a squirrel because he didn't see it. But today I couldn't say anything. There were no squirrels at all. The whole 6 miles we traveled.
Yep.
We didn't see one. Didn't hear one.
Nope.
Nothing. But yeah, we had a nice walk, and I was surprised with all the grouse that we did see. I actually threw my gun up a couple times and didn't shoot because I wasn't sure what it was. It was not a grouse. And one time, one flew out in front of me, and it was so big.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
It was
It was huge. It was like
Was
two
it a,
grouse together.
Was
you
it
know?
a grouse though?
No, wasn't a
I
grouse.
think it was.
It was just a fat grouse.
It was big.
It was. I
And
mean,
then
we're talking
Ethan
twice
wanted to
the
argue
size.
with me one time because one bird, when we were coming back, flew off into the woods, and all I saw were tail feathers, long tail feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that is not a grouse. That's a pheasant.
There's no pheasant up here.
There's pheasant up
That's
there.
what I said. I was
There
like,
are
I
pheasant
think it
up
was a
here.
grouse.
But I was going to throw up on that too, but I was like, no, that's not a grouse. And I don't have a pheasant stamp, so I couldn't have shot it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't have
those
any of
those
mine.
two instances were like, you know, they kind of like got me. It's like, oh well, there's other birds up here besides the grouse.
That's like the one I saw that was just walking there. I was like, yeah, I think you're a grouse, but I'm not sure. Like, why aren't you flying away right now? Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's weird even with the grouse because it has to be like their mating season soon or around certain times because I'm walking around the property yesterday
Yeah.
and they're spooked and they're flying, around everything. And then you were walking up yesterday up top, and they're just walking beside you, looking at you like, "What's up?
Yep.
What you doing?"
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they're drumming right now, so
Yeah.
it is a mating season for them, and they're gathering. I mean, we saw 3 of them together down over the hill from us.
Yeah.
And the male was all puffed out.
They were all
feathers
puffed up
puffed out, ready to go.
Yeah, getting ready
He
to
looked
drum.
at us, was like, this has to wait, and flies away.
Yep.
So the thing that I was thinking about this in the woods while the sun was setting on our Rut Camp. The mountains of PA are very unforgiving, as Drew said also in the cabin.
Yeah.
It's you're either going to see something or you're not.
And it's going to be lonely.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day, and especially when you come in here pretty much blind. You don't really know the area. You don't know the area at all. You don't know where they are. You don't know what they're feeding on. You don't know any of this. Like, to come in here and at least see some deer on your end, like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like, to just be able to see them, like, and also, like, I think the one thing, like, we didn't just, for everyone to know, like, we didn't just like, oh, Drew, we're hunting here, go find your own area. Like, we helped him find some spots to go to. Like, it was, we're not just going to throw him, like, go find your own
Going for
spots.
the
Yeah.
mountain
Yeah.
lions that we have.
Yeah.
Well, just for reference, Drew, I've been up here hunting for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many lonely days in the woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it isn't just happened. It's just the way it is.
And
Yeah.
I don't know
the way
about
it
you
is.
guys, but like when you go into the woods for whether it be just a morning sit or an all day sit, whatever. When you're sitting there, that first couple hours, like if you don't see anything, you start like being like, okay, wasn't a good spot.
Yeah.
Time to pick something else. You know, like
I
you
don't know
start
what
getting
I'm
in your
doing.
mind. Yeah, you start getting in your mind a little bit, and it's like, and I feel like that was day 2 for me. Like getting that spot, like not liking the spot, getting set up. It's like I just got to move. I just got to go. Like instead of giving it a true chance, but yet also in the big woods, you can't like just wait and give it a chance because you might not see anything all day.
Yep.
Like it's just, and then sometimes you get lucky and you get to see some deer.
Yeah.
Like you just go and you pick a spot blindly and go in there and.
Or you're surrounded by a dozen squirrels that just won't let you alone.
Well, that's true too.
Yes.
Yeah. Squirrels.
So I would have taken some squirrels today.
So Drew, I know we did a little whitetail, or I guess cabin cribs in there, and you told this on there. But for the listeners who just listen to this and don't for some reason don't follow our YouTube channel, do you want to let them know like what your thoughts are on the PA traditional hunting camp
Yeah.
that you were part of
Yeah.
this weekend?
Well, the camping is the cabin is absolutely awesome. Like if you guys ever have the chance to, come out here and enjoy something like this, you should definitely do it because honestly, to be honest, it's not just about hunting. It's about making memories, enjoying people's company, and getting to experience things you, for like me, never got to experience before. Like I've never got to hike up mountains and see the vast land, and it's just that's a cool experience that I'll remember for the rest of my life. But the PA mountains, it's definitely unforgiving. You have to be in shape because they're steep hills. It's not a hill, it's a mountain. Like it's steep mountains, it's thick. Yeah, and like Jeff said, it can be lonely, and it's kind of eerie sometimes, especially in the early morning or at nighttime. It's quiet, and there's just nothing but mountains and land around you, and your mind starts playing tricks on you, and yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it's nothing like Ohio where I hunt. So.
Yeah, it's almost like if I fell on my tree stand right now, who would how would I get found?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when that freaking grouse scared me.
Yeah.
I started thinking like, man, if I died or like broke my leg or something, how I wouldn't be found. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way somebody would be able to find me.
I often think about that, especially like the way I would always go in my old cabin. Like it's so hard to get back there. No service for any cell phone provider. And I often wonder like how many people like have died back in there. Like just like they're lost forever. Like it's like like
that's
it's
a creepy thought.
It is, and I don't know why my mind goes there sometimes. I don't know why.
Well, there have been people that have got lost, and
I believe that.
Found. There were some older gentlemen, not too far from here. He went up the mountain and he died. He had a heart attack, and it took him like 3 days to actually find him.
Wow.
Yeah. But there are instances, when, for the most part, we generally know where we're going. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have an idea of where anybody is going to be.
Mapping services help a lot
Yes, they do.
on Hex and Spartan
absolutely.
Forge.
You
and all that kind of
have
stuff.
to, in my opinion, you have to have
Yeah,
that.
you have to.
If
Yeah.
you don't, you're gonna get turned around so fast.
I mean, there's compasses and stuff like that. Like my dad always said, like just follow the water downstream, and then I'll take you to something at some point. I mean, you're not gonna walk. It's not like for example, like Montana, where it's like you're gonna walk for miles and miles and miles, not like see anything. Eventually, you're gonna run into like a road or something up here where you can get off. But like it's just you're gonna have to walk a couple miles at least. to find it.
Couple miles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a couple miles. Well, didn't you get turned around once, Dad?
Yep. When I first started hunting, I was up in a place called Butternut, and I thought I was going right, and I was going left. And lucky for me that I ran into 2 other hunters, and I said, "Can you point me in the direction of Butternut, because I thought it was this way, but this doesn't look familiar to me."
Yeah.
And he said, "It's that way." And I was like, "Thank you very much."
Yeah. I mean, that
And,
happened to me my first day.
Yeah.
When I went straight down from the road, and when I got done hunting, I thought, okay, I'm just going to go straight back up. Well, apparently I didn't. I veered way off to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the road where I thought I was supposed to be, and I got to the road and took a right, because when we were on the road, I took a left to get off.
Yep.
So I want to go back to the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I just kept walking, and I'm like, where's the parking lot? I just kept walking and walking and walking. I'm like, dude, something's bad. Something happened.
Something's weird here.
Yeah. I looked at the Onyx map, and I see myself walking further away from the parking lot. I'm like, how in the world is that possible?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even that far away from the road. Like,
Right.
That's
I mean, but it happens to everyone. Like,
yeah.
it's just, I mean, when you get on top of these mountains, I feel like it happens a lot more, because it's like the mountains tops are so big and vast. And it's like
there's a lot of flat land.
you
up
start
there.
walking, like you walk the direction you just walked in, but really you're walking the complete opposite direction.
Yep.
And it's like, how the heck did this happen? Yeah. It's fun up here, though. I enjoy it, even though it can really mentally F with you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't see anything, you get down on yourself. It's like, man, what do I need to do to see a deer? Right
Honestly,
I
I
just
think
want to
that
see one.
Yeah,
I think that is a good. I think it's a good thing, though, because from where I'm from, where I hunt, you see deer. If you know where to go and you know what you're looking for, you see deer all the time.
Right.
Here, it's like, kind of humbles you big time. And then when you go to a place you're familiar with, and then you start seeing deer, kind of like, oh shit, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yes, I do agree with that. And then also, like, even when you see those deer off in the distance, it's kind of like, okay, like there's thousands of acres up here, and I'm in a tree that at least got to see one of these deer walk this mountain. Like, it's like, just be able to see that, to be close to one, to be able, like, you're pretty much like that close to making it happen. I mean, that's pretty big deal.
It is, yeah.
I mean, for anyone who wants to hunt these big woods up here, like, it's if you can't put the time in the scout, like, it's more of an accomplishment even that, to just be able to see some deer. Like, for me, I haven't been up here in 4 years, pretty much, I think.
Pretty much.
Pretty much 4 or 5 years, and haven't really done any scouting. And like, the first day I had a 5-point come in, which I could have shot him. Wish I could have, but couldn't. And then I saw 2 more buck. It's like, I mean, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because there's been times when I come up here where I don't see anything. It's like the whole trip, the whole 3 days, like you don't see a single deer. It's like, there's no deer up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't no deer in PA.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe these woods. I wouldn't even say they're big. They're vast, dude.
Yep.
Like, this is not, like, these are literally mountains.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I wish you guys would hunt where I hunt.
Yeah.
Because that is tiny
I'll
compared
send
to
you my
this.
phone number. You can text me.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know. I'm retired. I can go anywhere I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime. Let me know.
Okay.
Anything else to add to the trip here? Anyone? Open the table.
I'm wanting to come back some other time whenever you guys have this again.
Well, next year we'll be having another one.
You're more than welcome.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
It might, I don't know, we'll do it the same time frame, or if we'll do it like a week earlier, where they'll start like cruising a little more. We can hunt the scrapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, this time frame, it's like you got to find doe.
Yeah.
And then you'll find cruise and buck or something like that, and get, with like Ethan did. But like, that's, I don't know, it's been a fun experience, I think.
An awesome experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For me, it's so, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It makes me feel so small out here, Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I feel like a little B word Because it's like these woods are so vast, and it's
Little
like you gotta walk, and and then I go to my little public hunting spot. And I only walk a mile in, and I feel like I walked a marathon. But here it's like you walk a mile, you're nowhere near where you need to be. It's like what in the world?
Dude,
Make
I feel
a man
that all the
out of
time. I feel Mulan again, huh?
Mulan again. I should watch that movie.
Yeah.
I feel that all the time. It's like, oh, you look at ONX, it's like, oh, that's not that far. And then you start walking, it's like, are we there yet?
Yeah.
It's very deceiving.
It is.
The map
Very
doesn't. The
deceiving.
map on your phone makes it look, oh, that's doable,
Yeah.
and then it's not.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean,
close.
it's doable when if you wake up early enough and get going early enough.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's like,
if you leave at 3:00 in the morning, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
if you do go at midnight, just sleep in your tree.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't. Just sleep in your tree. You're fine.
I've thought about that a few times up here. Like, it's like, man, if I really want to go far, like, maybe I could just sleep in my tree.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be the
Do you know
best
how
bet.
warm you have to dress though?
Oh, God, yeah.
unless you're
Yeah.
doing unless you do it early season, where it's not as cold overnight.
Man, but then you have more bears out, too, up here.
that is true.
You have to worry
Well,
about
make
bears
sure you-
climbing your tree.
Yeah, just make sure you're more
I
than
have
2
one
sticks.
little story, and
Oh.
that's all I have to say.
Okay. Story time.
When
like
Drew came back the one day, I picked him up, and I asked him. I said, "You want to do a walkabout?" And he says, "Yeah, sure." So we walked our property, and he saw a lot of things, and I said, "Okay, well, now we're going to go over in the valley," because I was trying to get him familiar with the lay of the land. That if he wanted to hunt around here, at least he knew the general areas. And we walked a little while and went down through a valley and past some cabins and then back up through another ravine and came out on one of the main arteries right down the road from us, and there were four bull elk standing in this one backyard. And I had told him, I said, we're going to go look for elk,
Yeah.
and and they were there.
Yeah.
Well, we're standing there, and Drew says, we're too close. And I was like, no, we're not. He says, I got to have at least a tree between me and them.
Yeah.
And I said, they really don't care about you. I mean, yeah, you want to go up and pet one, well, that's your prerogative. But other than that, if you want to just look at them, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it was okay. We stood there for a while, and they were grazing, and we watched them for a little bit, and we were coming back, and we had to come back up through the valley and come back over to our cabin, and Drew picked up a stone, and he told me, he says he likes to collect stones from areas that he was in. And I said, well, that's interesting. And he carried it for a while, and then he threw it on the ground. and I said, was that too heavy for you? And he goes, no. And he bent down and picked up another stone. And he proceeds to ask me, hey, if there was a bear coming and I threw it and I hit him in the head, and I said, no, you don't want to do that.
No.
I said, because all you're going to do is provoke him.
Yeah.
But he was more concerned because there are bear around our area.
Yep.
And he was more concerned with some big critter coming out, and surprising him.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny, and it was interesting.
That's funny. You threw the rock down after picking up.
Yeah.
I collect them from every place I knew I'd go.
And then gets rid of it.
Throws the
Yeah.
rock down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, like I said, I'm from Ohio. We don't
Yep.
have bears. We
Yep.
don't have elk. We don't have, like, half the stuff you guys have. So
Yep.
it's like when you're in this vast mountain,
Mm-hmm.
you get kind of spooked out.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even back home, I was like, you're always scared of the dark, everybody is.
Oh, yeah. It's natural.
Yeah. But, like, when you're here and there's actual predators out there,
Yep.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
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 So,
Not like the Sandusky predators, but like
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had them too.
well, yeah, we do have those.
We had them too. Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Pennsylvania.
We got all types of predators.
Come check out all of our predators.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Ew. No thanks.
So all in all, great rut camp.
Absolutely.
Great experience. We got at least one down. That's all we can ask for, right?
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, playing with
Well,
the fire.
any
We're
final
good.
words for the listeners?
Just get out in the woods and go with your gut.
Yes, go with your gut. Yeah.
Find the doe.
Yeah.
Just find, like, it's so simple. It's not, well, can be more difficult than that.
Yeah.
But it's that simple in concept.
Yes. Yep.
Find the doe.
Yep.
In this time frame, a buck will be there.
At some
Whether
point,
it's legal or not,
Yep.
you will be in
Yep.
the zone.
Yep. Yep. Anyone else?
Nope.
Nope.
I told a story. He's
I
done.
enjoyed it,
I'm
dude.
good.
I loved it.
Hey, we enjoyed having you here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Big time.
Remember, everyone, to keep hunting
Keep fishing.
and always enjoy the fishing process. See ya.